Well, seeing as I've barely been fucking getting any European Union, I thought it would be quite appropriate to go for a challenge mode only in the European Union. I would expect my scores on average to be a little bit higher than normal, but there will still be whiffs and failures as you would like them there to be. So here we go, and I have lined up something a little bit different, a Bill Laswell record. Oh yeah. Maybe I should lower the balance a little bit more. This looks a little bit louder. I knocked it down by 1 decibel. Let's do... that seems like a good level to me. Yes. Okay, having done this, let's go ahead and start our challenge. And where are we now? Well, we know that we're in here. Okay, this is maybe kind of obvious at this point. My assumption would be that we are in Finland. Let's double check the language as soon as we can. Finland has, of course, a very distinctive language associated with it. I would have certainly assumed that we were somewhere in the north of Europe, seeing this. Is that pizza? No, okay, that's a Z, just a very weirdly shaped Z. Well, where in Finland we are is hard to guess, but I would assume a fairly considerable city. Tampere, Turku, Helsinki. I don't speak Finnish in the slightest, if you couldn't work that out. Well, I suppose I would quite like to. There's a lot of cool stuff to be had in Finland. What's the URL look like? I'm gonna say that we're like here. This looks like a fairly nice place for sure. Oh god. Where have I turned? Put me on the road. Thank you. Looks like a fairly nice place, and you can see a fairly culturally significant place. This is a large number of people. I'm pretty sure there's fewer people up here as compared to down here. So that's where that assumption is coming from. I don't know if we're getting turned around or anything, but like this is, to me, indicative of somewhere pretty fucking major. In fact, there's a port here, now that I care to look. So is this leading into the sea? Because if so, I would put us like more along the lines of here. Like, this is a nice place, man. I'm enjoying this music as well. Okay, could be there as well. Do it though. What? What? It said Finland. Whatever. It was indeed the capital city of a Nordic country, though. Fucking liars, though. Can't stand it. We're not driving on this side. Okay. Looking at... Oh. Looking at this, I'm not getting the impression that we are in a Germanic country. It's hard to say. I suppose this could be somewhere in... I don't actually know, but Policia does narrow it down a little bit. I know for a fact that we're not in any Germanic-speaking country now. Whether this is somewhere in France or Spain or Poland, I don't know. Eastern Europe is really an issue for me, and by Eastern I mean anywhere between like Poland and Estonia, Latvia. Is it how you pronounce it? Estonia? It says it in Italian here, so I don't actually know. I know that this Letonia here is actually Latvia. Okay, this should be... There should be enough information here to work something out. I'll tell you what, it's another nice looking place. I can't believe that wasn't Finland, man. Like, I didn't see enough language to know for sure. I mean, the Finnish language is fairly distinctive, but I didn't see enough language to tell for a fact whether it was Finnish or not. The fucking bus said Finland on the back. I guess that was like the destination. Whatever. Man, I don't know where this is. This is. I don't know where this is either. Come on. SK. What is that? Slovakia? I think. I don't know what else it can be. Okay, it's Slovakia. Nice that we got that worked out at least. I'm gonna say that we're like here. The good thing about the European Union is that, as you can see, that's the size of a country in Europe, yeah, and that's the size of a country in America. So even if you're not quite there, you're still gonna get a decent score once you have the country. I guess it's equivalent to having a state in the US, except that figuring out the state in the US is much harder because you all speak the same language. Do it. Damn, bitch. Okay, that's very good. After that slightly disappointing first guess, that feels rejuvenating, reinvigorating. My mood is once again firmly in the positive spectrum. Okay, we're once again in some sort of Eastern European country. Here, I would expect that, unless I find the indication of the country again, that my inability to tell between Eastern European languages is gonna come roaring to life. And it's really all my fault. Like, if I knew at least one Slavic language, I believe is the right term, it would be so much easier because I would immediately know when the language that I was seeing, you know, wasn't the one I was thinking. As of right now, I would say that we're maybe here, or no, actually, scratch that. This to me looks... I don't know, this does not actually look all that Romanian to me. We're obviously not Ukraine or Belarus. Or there. I'm looking for anything that has K's in it. And that weird S with the thing on top. This could be Lithuania then. I'm gonna put a tentative guess over there. Okay. I mean, that does really kind of simplify the thing, doesn't it? HR. That's what I mean, like... Here and here, the languages, to my eyes... look basically the same. And then here, oh, completely fucking different. Here, entirely different. So, I just don't fucking know how to tell. And if I knew one of those languages, once again, it would be quite simple. We got the Royal Albert Hall here. City life. Well, you know what? This is another nice looking place, man. I quite like it. Even though I have a bone to pick with Hungary for the shit they did with, like, closing off immigrants. I have to say that, like... I mean, I'm probably more... left-leaning than a lot of people that I know from the RGC and everything. But like, I don't really have a problem with... What? Oh, fuck off. I don't really have a problem with, like, having immigrants in my country. It doesn't upset me. I mean, of course, they still have to, you know, do something, get a job. People, of course. That's the problem to me, like, right? Because I believe in rights for everyone equally. And I don't think that I'm being particularly transcendental when I say that, but I do, like whether you're from Syria or Namibia or Hungary or Italy or America, or if you're Jewish, black, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm of the belief that who you are as a person, as an individual, is more important than, you know, your ethnicity or your religion or your race or anything like that. So I do believe that it's the right thing to do to let immigrants into the country if they need to be, you know, housed there, because their original country, the country that they come from, is dangerous, which it is for them. It certainly is. So based on that, and based on really the belief that I don't see why you would ever judge someone based on things that you don't like, that don't make a difference. I'm of the opinion that immigrants should be let into the country. So I'm against what Hungary did and what the UK is now doing by closing them off because of really nationalist opinions. At the same time, a lot of people from like Romania and such, in at least my country at least, they really don't do anything. Like I'm not really the sort of person who would judge someone because they're not productive, because I'm not productive either. But they really don't do a lot. They don't give back to the country a lot. So that's kind of complicating things for me a little bit, I have to say. That being said, I'm probably much more left-leaning than a lot of people that I know, which can be awkward. Can be awkward because you go on Facebook and you see Musi has just posted, a video saying making fun of transgender people, and you're like, he's like, okay, this is my country, obviously. But you see, like, he's just uploaded a video and it's like, he shows like the symbols that they put on bathrooms for men and women, and they're like, and he's like, I can deal with this, but more than two genders is just too much for me. And you're like, you don't have to be that much of a dick, like, for no reason. Obviously, I'm not transgender, so I don't know what it's like, but I don't see a reason why I would deny someone. Like, if you look at me and you're like, I'm not a guy or a girl, I'm like, okay, what are you? And you say, I don't really know. And I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm gonna support you. And maybe that is not an attitude that I should take, I don't know. Okay, we're looking for... But in any case, I don't really have a problem. Like, I don't know whether it's real or not, obviously. But like, if you wanna tell me that you're not a guy or a girl, and like, whatever, man, I'm all for it. You can tell me you're a fucking office chair, and I'm like, awesome. How do I support you? Within reason, of course. Like, if you're like absurd about yourself, I don't even know what that means, but I don't really even know what I'm talking about, because I don't give this thing much thought. Like, I've never really thought that it was particularly like a weird idea of mine to support people equally and not deny their identity. That's like, I don't think that's a particularly novel concept that I'm proposing here, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where the fuck this is. But yeah, like, I don't really have a problem with the idea of there being more than one gender. I don't really have a problem with the idea of people not identifying with one or the other. I do have a problem when, an attempt to support everyone equally is made to an extent that you know, I don't want to really say anything too mean, but I have a problem when that attitude is taken to like Tumblr levels, where it's like you can't call me he, even though I look like a guy in every aspect. Otherwise, I'm gonna get triggered. That's when I have a little bit of an issue with it. Because it's like, okay, I don't fucking know who you are. You're a guy who looks like a guy, but you're a girl on the inside, and I say he, and you don't have to like blow up in my face, you know? It's one of those things where I think people tend to get offended very easily. It's very easy to get offended. It's very tempting to get offended even. There's a lot of people who enjoy getting offended even. And a lot of the people who belong to minorities who, up until very recently, and even to this day, have not really been represented maybe to the level that they should be, such as, for example, transgender people, it's very easy for them to get offended and, you know, even respond to the degree that now they're no longer even the victims. They're trying to turn those who were insulting them earlier into their own victims of their own, whatever. This might be complete fucking nonsense what I'm saying, but like, just don't be a dick to anyone that you see for any reason, especially not if there's a reason, if it's a reason they have no control over, like, for instance, their gender. At the same time, if someone is a dick to you because of that, and they didn't mean to be a dick, and they just accidentally called you a guy because they didn't know that you were actually a girl, you just looked like a guy, so they called you one, just don't get offended, just take it. You know, I can't imagine that it's gonna be that fucking bad if someone calls you he when you're actually a she, that you just can't fucking deal with it. Maybe it is that bad, I don't know. So, what I'm saying is, treat everyone nice, and if someone says something and they mean well, but they're actually wrong about something, just take it, man. Just take it. Like, there's a lot of people who could speak in maybe not the most politically correct terms, and they would still have, you know, the message would still be good at heart. So, take it for what it is. As far as GeoGuessr, I don't really know where we are. This is actually a very confusing situation that I find myself in. But anyway, the whole point that I was trying to make with that was, like, I've seen people, elderly people mostly, say things that could be really fucking racist, but they were just saying it the best way they could. Whoa, that's a big ol' freeze right there. Like, not necessarily racist, I guess, but actually the fact that this bus says Estonia on it, like, makes me think that we're more like here. I still don't really know what the fuck I was trying to say, but yeah. I don't know. Oh, you fucking liars, man. What the fuck? Where? What? Stockholm, Helsinki. I'll say that we're right there, man. No, we were actually in Estonia. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, my point is, it's the thought that counts. You know, my grandma occasionally speaks in maybe some not very polite terms about homosexual people. I don't really think I need to specify what term, but she has said the word faggot in the past, but she always associated it with being like, you know what, I don't really have a problem with fags. Like, they want to fuck guys, they can do that. And someone gonna get offended by that? I don't know, probably. But she essentially just said, I don't have a problem with homosexual people. And so that's a good thought that she has just expressed there. That's a positive message. She just maybe didn't say it in the best of terms. And I know a lot of people who would get offended by that. Oh, fucking no, I don't want to go here. I know a number of people who would get offended by words such as the one that I just said. But just don't get offended, man. Like, just take it when someone says something that is maybe not the nicest thing, but their heart's in the right place. Just take it. Take it, because if you don't take it and you get upset by what they just said, or maybe that they could have said it a little nicer, like, you know, I could say something very positive about black people, which I would be very inclined to say. I like black people a lot. I like a lot of things that they do. I never see a black person on the street and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be near this guy, I don't like this guy. No, and that's never fucking happened to me. And someone would be like, excuse me, did you mean to say person of color? It's like, no, because that describes every person in the world. Because white is also a color, and more to the point, nobody's actually white. It's just lighter skin on the same overall color wheel. It's literally the same color, just lighter. And like, it's about saying, like, you know, put the people first. I'm a person of color. I'm not a black person, because if I say person of color, I'm saying person first. And like, okay, those are the very same people who describe white people as white people instead of people of not color. So I don't like people like that, basically, is the point I'm trying to say. Just fucking take things as they are. Don't get offended by nonsense bullshit, and be supportive of people of any kind, as long as they deserve your support, of course, which in the case of people who are in the case of people who are transgender, I would say they do. So that's my rant about stuff over. I'm not very confident that we are in here. I don't know what BG stands for. Oh, right. I should have fucking thought of that. I completely forgot that they use Cyrillic in Bulgari. So if you were watching me drive around and listening to me like rant about nothing, and you're like, you're in fucking Bulgaria, you imbecile, then I apologize for that. Did I say Bulgari, by the way? My mind's really not in the right place right now. Okay, where are we now? Where could this be? I mean, my first guess, if I didn't know that this is in the EU, would be to say somewhere in a nice part of Russia. Okay. We are in Sweden again, and for safety reasons I'm going to put myself near Stockholm, but not quite in Stockholm. This is a very nice place too. I do quite like these Nordic countries. There's a lot of nice parts to them. And I'm not just saying that because of the music that they make, which I'm quite fond of as well. Just because death metal is often produced in this part of the world. It's not the only reason why I like Sweden. I mean, look at this. It's a wonderful place. Lots of green here. It's a very high GDP, high levels of living, although it's supposedly very expensive, even more so in Norway. It's perfectly beautiful weather. Everybody seems like really friendly. If perhaps kind of low on multiculturalism here. There's not really a large contingent of immigration in Sweden, as far as I know, which is fine. I don't want necessarily a place to have more immigrants, otherwise it's not good. If the place is nice for what it is, it's nice. Doesn't need to have immigrants there. But if they come knocking, then why not? There was actually a wonderful Reddit post that I saw by a Swedish person about immigration, and it really hit me because I'm pretty sure this is another one of those countries, Sweden, Norway, along with the UK and lately France and Hungary, yes, that is maybe a little bit more on the conservative side when it comes to immigration. But there was this fantastic post on Reddit about a Swedish guy who went to see the immigrants, went to meet them, and he came away from that with like the realization that they're people, they are human beings. And I thought that was very, perhaps poignant, had a lot to say about how people can be prejudiced even if they don't know the person against whom they are prejudiced. So my point is, like, don't be a dick and don't judge people or think less of them for what they are. If you're gonna think less of someone, do it because of the way they act, not because of the way they are. Hey, that's pretty good. This could be more along the lines of maybe like Spain is my first guess here. It is Spain, I think. There's just something about the way these buildings look that makes me think of Spain. This could also be Portugal. But I don't know. The good news is that Spain is not like, you know, one of the largest countries in Europe. So we should be fine on this one. Kyoto Electrodomesticos. I like this song too. This has been a very weird episode, I have to say. But in many ways, probably the most interesting. Yeah, we're indeed in Spain, yes. España. Something along the lines of that. I have no real way of gauging where, because there's relatively big places all over there, evidently here as well. So that's a pretty wide margin that I'm left with. This looks relatively coastal, perhaps. To me, it just gives me the impression that it would be fairly near the sea. But I might be wrong on that one. So I'm gonna say that we're somewhere like here. That is also broadly in the middle of this triangle, so it's also damage prevention in a way. Racionero. I understand that we're in this place, Jaén. That's how you pronounce the J. But I don't understand. Oh, hello. Well, we were certainly not very near the ocean. Or the sea, rather. Sorry, this is the sea. This is the ocean. Bum, bum, bum. Check out these drums, though. I guess it's more like percussion. Madrid. It's on the E902. Going up from here, yeah. The N. Yes, it's all matching up. And they're both right. The E902 and the N are both right, which means that we're here. Maybe... Oh, damn. I should have put myself closer to that university. But that is very good. What do we got? This is a nice looking place too. This could be France. Yep. And we're somewhere fairly mountainous. I would head downhill as a safe bet. I can't tell if things are going backwards or forwards. They seem to be going backwards. Well, when it comes to France, it's hard for me to really guess as to where we might be. Short of, you know, finding a sign that says where we might be. This bus, where is it going? That doesn't say Paris, right? It looks like it's broken or something. No, it says something I can't quite tell. Is it just glitched the fuck out because of the camera, or is it because it's like broken? You can't tell. Okay, we seem to be in somewhere. Saint Jean, perhaps, is the name of the place. Of course, there's a lot of places in France, if you didn't know. So, just finding it is gonna be A big old stroke of luck. Stroke of luck, coincidentally, the move that I always perform before an exam. I don't really know what that was trying to be, nor do I know where this might be. Okay, club musical. Well, it's a lovely looking place, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna say that we're like here. In that regional area. Bam, 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 bam. This is a lovely track. I'm not sure how well they're even going to be able to hear it. Car ferries. So we are definitely somewhere mountainous. Maybe more on the lines of here then, maybe? Just fucking do it, dog. Don't open Google Maps on me. Damn it, so maybe the car ferry didn't refer to a car ferry. Like some weird term to refer to the thing that you take to go up mountains. Maybe it just was actually a ferry. Obviously it wasn't that kind of ferry. Well, that was not bad, I suppose, considering I got that guess. Which is quite far away. I feel weirdly tired after this, probably because I went on that stupid rant. But that was European Union only, and as you can see, I'm better at it. Who would have thought?